Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is the grand opening. It's gonna be about being the first time mom, the first time parent, all the ups and downs, reviews, probably a little bit with something about the fashion as well, because this is a huge part of my life and I can't live without it. And yeah, and I really wanted to start my adventure with the story of my labor story. Don't worry, I'm gonna put all the bloody details aside, so I will not share the graphics with you, but I think it's a really good start for my channel to tell my story, because maybe some of you gonna have the same feelings, and I really hope it's gonna inspire or help some of you guys. I swear to God, I wasn't prepared for what had happened with the old giving birth. First of all, in the second when I found out that I'm pregnant, I was absolutely sure that I'm gonna have a C-section. The whole idea of giving birth in the natural way, it just freaks me out. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go to the hospital. I'm gonna be there. I just need to be on time, on the schedule, on the operation. They're gonna do everything and I just need to be there. And I spoke with my friend, and she's a mom of 6 exactly, so she's quite experienced, and she said to me that she did all the time the natural way, and if there's anything wrong with the pregnancy, then why I'm not doing also in the natural way. And then I started to rethink, like, she did so many times, well, and I am afraid of one. So then I started to rethink my decision. I spoke with my midwife, and she said, well, I'm gonna make an appointment for you in a hospital so you can see how it is. You can speak with the midwives over there, and maybe they're gonna help you to make the decision. So we went to the hospital, we saw the midwife, and this is something what I think we needed, because Martin, my partner, he said to me, well, this is your body, it's your decision, I can't make the decision for you, but no matter what you're gonna choose, I'm with you. So yeah, so we went to see her, and she was absolutely amazing. She was so calm, and you could tell, like, she has a lot of experience. And yeah, she said, well, your body is designed for the natural birth. This is not something, you are not the first one, you are not the last one, and there's nothing to be afraid of. If something gonna go wrong, you have the whole team who gonna take care of you and the baby, so don't worry. And then I said, well, okay, then I'm gonna get the epidural, please. And she said, to be honest, I think you can go without. No, I want to have a, pain-free birth, so epidural. But when we made the decision, it was already 36 weeks, so there was no time actually to do any lessons. And my midwife said, well, there are some lessons in the hospital around like beginning of September, and middle of September I'm supposed to have my due day. So I said, nah, we're just gonna go with the flow. I didn't even watch any YouTube stories, so yeah, we was like, yeah, we can do it. So yeah, and the 38 week, you can imagine me with being so big, and I was just moaning all the time. And it was so hot in the UK, and everything was so bad for me, and I feel so pity for myself as well. Yeah. And then on the 38th week, on Thursday, it was the day when I had my mani-pedi appointment, and I came back really happy with my, with my new nails. And then I was also like a little bit worried before, because I didn't really feel the baby movement as much as she was moving before. And I spoke even with my boyfriend. I was like, okay, I don't know, should I go to the GP? Maybe they can check her heart rate, or should I call the midwife? But then, you know, my intuition was like, nah, everything is okay with the baby. And then I remember when I get home, I started to feel the baby, and also I started to feel like a little bit like pressure. And I thought, okay, maybe I was walking too fast or too long, or it was, you know, I wasn't in a good position when I was getting my pedi. So maybe, you know, she doesn't feel comfortable now. So I just ignore it. Then after a while I thought, okay, this is something weird. And then I thought, and even spoke with my boyfriend, I think I get the, finally I get the like trial contractions. I forgot the name. So we thought, okay, maybe finally I have them, because for example my friend, and she was like almost in the same time pregnant, and she already had them like from the 5th or 6th month of the pregnancy, and I had nothing. And I thought, yeah, I have them as well. But then at 8 o'clock in the evening, I felt like, you know what, like it's weird, like it feels weird, something is different. Like, okay, let's Google it. The labor. And then he started as well to check on, okay, how often and for how long I have contractions. And after a while we said, oh my god, shit, it's happening. So we call hospital. I was like literally grabbing my bag, already ready to go, and then the lady on the phone said, well, yeah, it's gonna take time, eat something, drink something, keep your level of energy up, try to sleep, relax, take a bath, everything's just fine, you have plenty of time. And I was like, no, I really want to go for it. Like in the movies it's always like this, the water break, you're going to the hospital, and after a couple of hours you have the baby. But it's not like in the movies, apparently, obviously. And I was so shocked, like, it's not like this. And she said, no, it can take a while, so it's better when you stay home. Okay. So, and then she said as well, call after like 1 hour when the contractions is like, you know, no, you have to have contractions for at least 1 to 2 hours, and they need to be, for example, like every 10 minutes or something like that. So we were waiting, watching movies and checking on contractions. And yeah, then we called the hospital, and then I started to feel very uncomfortable. The contractions were really, really painful. And then again she said, no, you have plenty of time, for the pain just take some paracetamol. It's not even working on my headaches. How the hell it's gonna help on my contractions? Anyway, we did what they said. I was just, it was horrible night. I was peeing, puking, and making poo. It was literally, it was the best body cleanse that I ever had. There was nothing inside me anymore, and which is a good thing, especially when you have a natural birth. To have a good cleanse, very important. So yeah, and after a while I said to Martin, like, I can't cope anymore. I didn't know, I couldn't find the right position, I couldn't sit, I couldn't lie, forget about lying on. I couldn't do nothing, and I was literally all the time in pain. So at 6 o'clock in the morning I said, you know what, just call them, I can't do it. And they said the same thing, wait, drink, eat, blah blah blah. And I said to Martin, you know what, I'm afraid that, first of all, it's London, yeah, so around 8 till 10 o'clock, the traffic, it's horrible. And second of all, I can't cope with the pain. Like I couldn't, I was crying. So we went to the hospital. They said, well, they asked after the first examination if I don't want to go home, and I said, hell no, I'm not driving back home. I want to stay here, I want to have my epidural. And then it hit me, because I thought it's gonna be as easy. I'm going to the hospital, I'm getting epidural, and it's pain-free labor. It's not like this. You have to be open at least 4 centimeters. I didn't know that. Like I said, my fault. And yeah, when they said to me, this is the reality, you can't get, like before, you can't get epidural because the contractions can stop, and then your labor is gonna like be forever. And I was really upset about this one. And so I was asking, okay, what can I do to be open more? You have to walk, for example, or they give me a ball when I had to jump, but I couldn't do it because, like I said, the pressure like on my lady parts was so big. I couldn't sit. Seriously, I thought that the head is already there because it was so painful. But anyway, the admission was at 9 o'clock in the morning, and around 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, after another examination, they said, well, yeah, you are 4 centimeters, you can get your epidural. Hallelujah. So we went to a different room, they gave me the epidural. Funny thing, Martin just, like, he went outside. He said, I can be with you no matter what, but I can't see when someone is putting a 10 centimeters needle into your spine. It just freaks him out. So he just left. And yeah, after the epidural was amazing. I couldn't feel a thing. But what had happened, the contraction stopped. Yeah, nightmare, literally. So they had to put me on a hormone. When the hormone hit, they had to put they had to top up my epidural because it was so painful, and then the baby heart rate wasn't right, so they had to take me off of the hormone. Then the contractions came, thankfully. Then it was like I was opening so slow. It was horrible. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, another doctor came, another examination, and they said, well, the problem is that the baby is on the side, so there's a possibility that we have to do a C-section. Oh my god. Okay, but what can I do to move the baby, you know, in a good position? And she said, well, you have to have contractions. So yeah, it was quite stressful, and I was restless because of the epidural. I had no feeling in my legs, so I couldn't walk to get her in the right position as well. So I was just lying there. Martin was sleeping like a baby. I was like thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna have a C-section now. And then at 8 o'clock, the midwife from the night shift said, well, Anna, you are now, like, you are open now, so this is a good thing. Now it's a new midwife is coming, and she's very experienced, and she brought a lot of babies into the world, so you are in a good hands. Bye. Okay, cool. So Martin said, okay, so I'm gonna meet her, and then he wanted to go home to take a shower, take some stuff from home. And then the midwife came and said, hi, my name is I think her name was Henrietta, so Anna, let's bring the baby to the ward, start pushing. And we were like, now? Yeah, now. I said, are you really? Yeah, push. Just think about, you have been constipated for 10 years and now you have to push. I was like, is this a joke now? All right, so let's think about it, I'm constipated since 10 years, and I started to push. And like I said, we are so like in shock, because after so many hours and everyone is like, oh, you are so far away, you are so far away, and then suddenly she came and said, yeah, start push. Oh my god, start pushing. Yeah, so yeah, I started to push the baby out, and I was pushing for 1 hour, and for 1 hour I was hearing from my midwife, oh, that was a good push, Anna, that wasn't a good push, you can do better. And I was so frustrated, I was so fed up, I was so exhausted, and I was just like screaming, just get her out, get her out, get her out. And then after 1 hour the doctor came, and apparently the baby was again in the wrong position, but it was now her head, because her head, normally the baby should be like this, which can go through, and my baby was like this, which means that it was too, well, she couldn't go through me. And the doctor said, well, we have to do our forceps. And if you don't know what is forceps, Google it. I cannot explain this. I wish I could forget about this experience, because like I said, first of all, I didn't know what is a forceps. Second of all, I was in such a shock, like emotionally, physically, that I didn't really like realize what's happening. I saw the things what they're using to do the forceps, and but I didn't like, you know, I didn't understand what the thing is until they put this thing inside me, and then I was just screaming. I was just screaming. But then after 5 minutes I had my baby. So yeah, it was, like I said, it was quite traumatic experience, and I do hope next time, if I'm gonna be pregnant again, I do hope it's gonna be without these things. Yeah, but fair enough, like to be really like honest with you guys, it really doesn't matter. You are not forgetting about the pain, hell no, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's what's matter is the little small thing where they put you in your belly, on your belly, and then you just, it's like, yeah, it doesn't matter anymore. Well, it did matter when they started to sew me up. Yeah, that was, whew. I don't even want to imagine how it feels without epidural. Like, I was like top up with the epidural, but without epidural it's But anyway, like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. Like you have this small little baby with you finally after so many weeks of waiting, and it's just the most incredible thing to, yeah, oh, I'm getting emotional again. Yeah, this is quite a spectacular and magical moment, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's natural, forceps, if it's C-section. It doesn't matter. The most important thing is that the baby is healthy and you are healthy. So this is my story. I do hope you enjoy it. Okay, this is a funny thing to say. Did you enjoy my labor story? But no, I do hope that maybe if you have the same questions, if you have the same thinking like I did, like, yeah, I'm gonna just go with the flow, think about again, because I do regret that I didn't went to any lessons before giving birth, because I'm absolutely sure that if I knew what's happening, I would feel more comfortable. I didn't there will be not this surprise moment when, you know, when they're telling, oh, you can't get the epidural now, we have to wait. I would cope with the pain definitely so much better while being at home with the contractions. So yeah, and I would know what's happening next. So yeah, definitely I do regret that I didn't even like watch any labor stories on YouTube. But it is what it is now, you know. Now it doesn't matter anymore. But if you are thinking about not going to the lessons, go, or at least watch some videos, or at least read something about this one. I do hope you enjoy a little bit my story, and if yes, just please put the thumbs up and also press the subscribe button. That would make me very happy, and I'm really happy that you are here, and we're gonna see each other on the next video. Ciao.